Well, you hit on something that I find really interesting because it's always a balancing act between when you're proposing a political policy, you talk about the moral majority, like, okay, yes, Bible thumping isn't a popular political policy. We all know that. We know that it's not voters' favorite thing. Even if voters agree with it, it's not. At the same time, those people were probably right. They were probably correct about their morality and about their policy. And my concern is that the Republican Party, for fear of simply not being experts at crafting their narrative and selling their policies to the American people, have embraced this idea that we can completely divorce politics from religion. And I'm not talking about like practicing religion. I'm not advocating for a theocracy by any stretch, but the morals that are inherent to Judeo-Christian teaching, doctrine. And I worry that a lot of Republicans are so fearful of talking about morals that they only make the purely secular arguments for policies. And again, that's led us to where we are. I'd be interested in your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm sympathetic to that argument. And I think that one of the reasons I've become more sympathetic to it over time is that when you look at these left-wing ideologies in the classroom and HR departments and government agencies, you realize that this is a moral system. It is a system of belief. You know, you can make the kind of metaphorical argument that it serves as a religion. And so what I realized over time is that, oh man, when you take people's religion totally out of public life, when you really exclude it from the public sphere, you know, something worse is oftentimes, and in this case, very much worse, is going to replace it as the default morality of those institutions. And this doesn't mean that you should have I'm a Catholic, you shouldn't have a crucifix in a government office. That's not what I'm saying. That's not appropriate. But I think you need to have a shared moral sentiment. And this is an ongoing question in American history. You know, the founders tried to reconcile people from divergent like religious practices and religious sects. But they wanted a shared morality, a shared vision, a shared participation. I think we've gotten rid of that, unfortunately. I think we've gotten too far away from that. And I'd like to see policies that actually let people within public institutions live out their lives and live out their faith. And so, Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, whatever it might be, I think having people able to bring their faith to bear, to live out their faith in the public sphere is something good. And even if we come from different backgrounds, I think it's what makes us human beings. And we've suppressed that to the point, and I think it's actually been quite harmful. And so I think we have to figure out how to do it, how to stay within the bounds of the Constitution, of course. But I would like to see, on a voluntary basis, one policy that I've seen circulated is, why can't kids voluntarily, with parental permission, have a Bible study before school in a public school? Not taking resources, not forcing anyone, obviously, having people who volunteer to run it, but letting them do, a club to that effect. And that seems to me perfectly appropriate. That seems to be like something that we encourage, just like other belief systems that can have after-school programs. So things like that, I think, will go a long way towards helping restore some of these cultural bearings that have been lost.
More and more things for the Republican Party to grapple with. Okay, now for my two favorite questions to ask authors when I have them on the show. First of all, what was the most surprising or shocking or hilarious thing that you found in the course of your research when you were putting together this book?
Yeah, I mean, the most shocking thing to me was looking at the old propaganda literature from the violent Marxist-Leninist revolutionaries and the Black Liberation Army and all these other groups that were, assassinating police officers, planting bombs in the U.S. Capitol, robbing banks, hijacking airlines, and reading their propaganda, their newsletters, their pamphlets, going into the university archives and uncovering all this literature, and then comparing it to the public school curriculum in a place like Buffalo or New York or San Diego, and then realizing that they're more or less, with some euphemistic changes, telling the same story, using the same concepts, deploying the same words. And that to me was shocking. These ideas have gone from the fringes all the way to the center.
It is really shocking. And I think parents are going to love reading this to see what their children are being taught, because it's not just the glimpse you got during Zoom school. It's every day, all day in schools. And then my final question is, you're a bestseller on day number 1. So let me ask you, what's your secret to selling books?
I don't know. You have to talk to my publisher. I've never sold any books before. I'm a first-time author, and so I'm grateful to HarperCollins and my great editor Eric at HarperCollins and the whole PR team. And the best advice that they gave me, they said, "Hey, go on as many interviews as you can. Really, just go hard for a couple weeks. Talk about the book. Don't be afraid to pitch it." And and so I'm getting better and better. And I would just say, as your book comes out, I know it's coming out in the coming months, just get out there, talk about it, be excited about it. And I think that when people have heard me talk about it, they can sense my passion, my interest, my enthusiasm. I think that's infectious. I think we need that kind of optimism. We need that confidence. We need that that kind of feeling. And then when people feel that, I think they're attracted to something like it. So everyone that's listening, go out, buy the book, America's Cultural Revolution. It's available everywhere books are sold, and it will unlock the secret history of the radical left, unlike you've ever seen before.
You guys are going to love it. It's a great book. We'll link to it on all the platforms. America's Cultural Revolution, How the Radical Left Conquered Everything. It's not only available on all the platforms, it's at the top of the bestseller list. So if there it is. You can see it on the screen. That's the cover I was talking about. It's at the top of the bestseller list. So you click on Amazon, just go to books, and there it is. There it is. Chris, this was such a great conversation. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, don't forget to buy Chris's book, Cultural Revolution, everywhere books are sold. And don't forget to pre-order my book, Hide Your Children, Exposing the Marxists Behind the Attack on America's Kids. I'm so excited for you guys to read it. I hope you're going to love it. I think you're going to love it, but still a few more weeks until it comes out. Pre-order now so it can be in your mailbox on the day that it comes out. Go to hideyourchildrenbook.com. Buy a copy for yourself. Buy a copy for, your woke niece or nephew. Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.
Get essential headlines and truth delivered to your inbox every morning. Up First, the new daily email from The First, gets you ready to fight back against the spin from the liberal mainstream media. Get prepared, get informed. Get the Up First newsletter. Visit thefirsttv.com and sign up today. Liberals and progressives want to suppress the truth and distract you from what really matters. Don't let that happen. Sign up for the new daily email that's become essential reading for true conservatives. Get the Up First newsletter. Visit thefirsttv.com and sign up today.